Okay, here we go. Today is my day 4 video for Water Boss Tay's Painting Challenge 2020 in July. And it's going to definitely go into August a bit. I got things coming up in July. I won't be here all the time. And today's question is, what is your favorite miniature from the last year that you painted? Why is it your favorite? Show it off. From Darth Torlin. Well, it's like one of the hardest questions for me because I didn't really feel any of the miniatures I painted in 2019. I did some alright ones, but there's nothing that really grabbed me. I feel like some of the miniatures I did in 2018 I liked a little better, but I got this one. I'm just going to go down to the live stream setup now and I'll show it off. Here he is. This is one of my Skeleborgs from my old Warhammer Fantasy Battles 4th edition army. The undead. I stored them improperly and they all broke and got shipped up. So over the years I've been repainting everything and rebuilding. A lot of stuff got really banged up. But yeah, this is one of the ones that made into the queue last year and I love it. I love this guy. I love his belligerent pose. I love his big boxing mitt hands. I like his little stomach shield there, just a little chainmail coif, I think they call it. When I originally painted them, I just did purple for the clothes, bronze for all the weapons and armor, and then I can just say it was a bleached bone with an ink wash, a black ink wash, and just Dark Angel's green basing. So they definitely look better than they did in the past. Put a little more effort into them. Though even now, the painting techniques I'm using for this army are outdated compared to what I'm doing now. But it's fun. It's fun to do old techniques. And yeah. I painted a few of the Skeleborgs up, but this one is always my favorite. I love this Skeleborg. If I played a game where I could be an undead guy, I would definitely choose this one. Alright. And that is the question portion of the show. Now I'm going to switch over to monitoring things. And I'm going to put some music on. And I am going to start working on this next Terminator. Good times, good times. I should probably start by cleaning up his body. Or maybe gluing this on. I've done a little trimming on it already, but I tried to cast a piece here for it, but I didn't do a very good job. I got trimmed up. I need to trim up a little higher up here. So I'll do that. Oop. Got the dropsies. I was out in the heat for about 4 hours today, so I'm a little drained. That's why I decided to do the show early, because I don't think I'll have a lot of energy later on. It's almost even. Take this portion up a little. Okay. Now let's clean up this. I have no idea where I got this resin salt cannon. I don't know if it's legit. Or if it's a recast. So I don't know. I don't know where I got it. I'm not sure if Forge World ever did resin assault cannons for Terminators or not. I bought some orc weapons that were definitely in Forge World packaging. They were the same kind of resin. So this definitely could be a Forge World. But it did come with a Terminator's armor, or Honor's shoulder pad, which is a bit odd. It was just in a baggie. I think I got it in like a big pile of bits that I bought off eBay. Which is always great, those big old piles of bits. And yeah, I'm just going to work on this one Terminator today, and then I'm going to terminate this stream. So if no one comes along, that's okay. I'll just work away, and I'll natter in the microphone. Drop things. I thought about just taking the Terminator Honor's shoulder pad that I got and filing off that part, but I think it'll look fine either way. I think once I glue that on there and clean it up a bit, it'll be fine to paint on. Ska. I love ska. I assume everything's streaming anyway. Online, yeah. Looks like everything is live. I didn't tell anyone I was streaming. So there is that. I've been thinking about orcs a lot this last couple days for some reason. I think it's Spud from Chilling Wargamers. He's ignited the orc fever into me again. The only orcs I've finished off are my daughters. Those fellows are looking pretty good. I would have put them up on the favorite miniatures of 2019, except for that I painted them in 2018. Man, 2018 was a good year for miniatures for me. That's for sure. I stalled a lot in 2019. I got a lot of miniatures painted, but none of them really struck me. Except for Skeleboy there. He's really cool. Hey, Dave Dog. How are you doing? I am never going to go for a Golden Demon. I've only ever entered one painting contest. And I got 3rd place. And it was pretty good. Because I had a Lich, who was about the same size as this Skeleboy here. And he got 3rd place, and the people who got 1st and 2nd was a Dark Elf Dragon and a Chaos Dragon. So I think it's pretty impressive that a tiny little guy got 3rd place compared to 2 giant, awesomely painted dragons. But yeah, I never want to paint for competition. I'm all about the pleasure, Dave Dog. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, I estimate it should be... What do we got? What do we got left in here? 3 guys? This guy will probably take a show on his own because I got to do a bunch of heavy drilling and stuff. But these guys should be pretty quick, so... What's this one? Day 4, day 5... Yeah, probably by day 6, I'll have them wrapped up, and then I'll need to get them primed up, and I'll start painting. Ah, you're working until you feel tired? Then bedtime. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired today. That's why I'm streaming a little earlier than I normally do. I was out in the sun for 4 hours with the kids. Lots of good times. What are you working on tonight? Miniatures or work? I love those orcs, by the way. Definitely made me want to pull out my own orcs. And should I drill every single barrel on this with a tiny drill? Kind of feel like I should. That's right. Pride of Spain. Do you ever go to workshops in Spain? I know there's lots of good painters in Spain. I should go to a workshop one of these days. I know there's a organization in Alberta called AMSA maybe? They do a lot of good work. Is this going to be even noticeable? That's the question. I can definitely feel it. Oh. I did tag my Poxwalkers painting Warhammer. I think that's a tag that you use to see if you can get it on the website. And I'll do that with my my Death Guard as well once they're done. I'll have to build up a little bit of better scenery to photograph them in, though, I think. I also want to paint up my cardboard backdrop so that when I do take pictures, it's a little less drab. A little something. Oh. You're an awful student, Dave Dog. Oh my my. You learn best online? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'd learn that well in a classroom either. I'd have to try it. Slept mostly through university? Yeah. I have no idea how I learn. I just learn by doing for the most part, so. Usually if someone can just sit down and show me how to do something, then I usually do a pretty good job at it. I was okay at bike repair until I took a class. And then I got much better. Sometimes there's like certain pieces of the puzzle that I just can't pick up until I'm actually shown what to do. And then I usually take it from there. I'll run with it. So let's see. How do these guns usually look? I think there's a barrel here. Yeah, it fires through there. And these are the ones that are cooling down. So I'm going to need my poker. Yeah, I'd buy some backdrops if I could. The lights I have here are too intense. I usually have to turn them away in order to get a proper picture. If I leave them facing down like they are for doing the camera work, then it just washes everything out. For the miniatures, they get a better color balance if I turn them away. I feel like it's really the backdrop that I suffer from. If I had a little booth, maybe. Sit up for miniatures. My wife was into that for a bit. She wanted to do a booth so we could photograph the miniatures. It's the only way she can really see them usually. I have to show her pictures of what I painted for her to really see the details. So yeah, we built one booth, and then I didn't really have anywhere to put it, and ended up getting crushed because it's just a homemade one. But I only ever had white backdrops for it, which I don't really like. These mold lines are pretty ferocious for resin. Maybe it is Forge World. Soft light and LED combination? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I only have my smartphone to take pictures with, so I think that's probably the problem. It doesn't do well with super high lights. It works better when it has to use its software to compensate. So it ends up being a decent picture. Definitely not definitely not a real camera setting or quality. But good for what it is. My Pixel 3a. Alright. Who's it gonna be? I think 63 is gonna be too big. That one looks like a good one. Was that 74, 75? I think it was 75. Yeah, the smartphone's kind of like your brain. It makes up for a lot. Yeah. It's funny, the store I bought these from, I never went back to again. Maybe I did. Maybe I went once. Yeah, that's right, I did go once, but I used to go there a lot, now I don't, because the guy who helped me buy these just infuriated me so much that I yelled at my daughter. It was pretty ugly. But I certainly do enjoy the drill bits. I was trying to get help with drill bit sizes, and he just kept saying nope, nope. And I was trying to describe what I needed. It was just a poor customer service. And sometimes it's frustrating shopping with a 5-year-old. Let's see. Well, that's right, this one has words. I think that's where I want it. Yeah, well, in this case I really, because I had no idea how to measure drill bit sizes or ask for what I needed, so I was trying to get some advice, but yeah. He was a young guy. Mostly the people who work in the shop are old guys who I like dealing with. But not this guy. Yeah, usually I know what I want. Makes it a lot easier. Now I could just buy my own drill bits anytime I want because I know which sizes I need. So I got them all measured here. I can just buy them online, which is exactly what the old guys don't want. That's why they're always so helpful. Yeah. I always hear like horror stories from GW stores. The closest I have to a horror story from our GW is that there was a woman who worked there, and she was cool. But she was part of a local painting competition, and we all, it was the first painting competition. It was 12 hours for painting, and the guy who was running it ended up giving us a little too much work than we could get done, which was okay. So we all, a bunch of us said that we would take the stuff home so we could finish painting them. And she took the stuff home, but she never gave them back. She just refused all communications and kept the miniatures. So that's not a reflection on the GW store, just that she actually did work in the GW store, and she also took someone's sweet, sweet miniatures. I really enjoy drilling a lot more now that I have this carbide tip. I bought it by accident, but I love it. I thought it was going to be a scriber, like electronics, so you could scribe things, because I heard they were really good for removing of mold lines when they just go bzzz along. But yeah, ended up just being just a carbide tip on a pin vise, really. But it works so well for poking holes. She didn't take my miniatures. They're somebody else's miniatures. I don't think she resigned either, because I saw her working there after the painter die. I didn't know about it till the next painter die I went to. And, I don't actually know that she took them. Just, that's what they said. So. There's always the chance that it's slander. But yeah. I mean, there's a lot of gaming stores in my city, but still, gaming is a tight-knit community. You can't really steal people's miniatures and get away with it. People don't know. Yeah, a carbide tip. So it's just a little poker, which is perfect for poking barrels. The guide for the barrels, I find, because you can go deep with it, metal or plastic or resin or anything. I also have a carbide sharpener, which I use to keep my blade honed. So I've been using this one blade for, probably 2 years now. It doesn't have the tip on it anymore, but I don't really like the tip. I like it better, a little blunt on the top. If I really need a tip, I can just slap a fresh blade in there, but this is just my general purpose hobby blade. Not too sharp, but sharp enough. Yeah, I can see that. We only have one GW in our city, and then the other two in the province I live in are up north in Edmonton. I'm not sure why they have two and we only have one. But we do have one of the biggest gaming stores in Canada. Even Ash Barker from Gorilla Miniatures Games knows it, because they have an amazing selection. So generally, the GW store isn't the place most people go to shop, but it is in one of the high-profile malls. So if I ever start talking about miniatures, almost everyone knows what I'm talking about. They're like, "Oh yeah, like the big Space Marine guy by the movie theater." Is it going to be off a little bit? Maybe. Let's poke it down there a little more. No, Calgary isn't COVID free. We had another outbreak in one of the old folks' homes. And we have We have drive-in tests. I had to get tested the week before last. Well, the week before this week, if you count. Today is part of Monday to Sunday. So yeah, last Monday, the 22nd, I had a wicked fever. The kind where you question if you're going to make it or not. And then the next day I booked in an appointment to a drive-in testing zone, which is set up at one of the old hospitals. So the place where the ambulances would come and take people. They had tables set up. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, we don't have to wear masks when we go out in public, but we usually wear a mask when we go into stores. Yeah. Yeah, once it gets into an old folks home, it's just murder. My daughter's best friend, her grandmother is in an old folks home on the other side of the country, which had a very infamous amount of cases. It was pretty much known for being the worst in the country. And the woman was just confined to her room for over a month. They wouldn't let her out or anything. You know, she just had to stay in her room. Couldn't go anywhere. Better than dying for sure, but it'd be really hard. All right, I think that's looking pretty serviceable. That one's a little off, I'd say. Otherwise, everyone's looking pretty good. Let's put number 74 back. Yeah, exactly. Actually, she is in the old folks home because she had brain damage. And apparently it's number 75. She believes that she's a teenager. So she's an old person with the mind of a teenager trapped in her room for over a month. Could be even 2 months now. I'm not sure what the situation is. I had to isolate for 2 weeks, so we haven't seen them in a while. Okay. Get some glue. I'll just glue on my hack job. My milliput hack job. I'll definitely have to do some filling on this one. Maybe some trimming up there. I'll let it dry for now. Oh, did I forget that part too? Yeah, looks like it. Dang it. No, this is a Gorilla Super Glue. So it's just a super glue. Apparently it has a bit of a rubber-like compound in it, so actually it's really good for miniatures. It's not regular Gorilla Glue, which expands. I also use Gorilla Wood Glue, and that stuff is pretty awesome. It's all just branding. Basically, it's the easiest to get that's good in the supermarkets. I never use any of the hobby glues. Bob Smith Industries, yeah. Sounds pretty good. Is that the Dicey Guy glue? I can't remember. Is that what he uses? This is basically the best super glue you can get out of the grocery store, I find. I've tried them all. And they're all super glue in the end, but this one I find is very impact resistant, as it says. Impact Tough formula. And I like these bottles. Generally, I can get the entire bottle used out of it. Yeah, Yeah, I gotta trim that still. It's bugging me now that I'm looking at it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay that this arm isn't perfect. This guy arm isn't going to be perfect either once I rebuild it. This was an eBay purchase. It's still got silver on there. I wonder if I painted it by accident. Because it should all be stripped. So yeah, this guy originally came with... Was it this guy? Yeah, it was this guy. With his hack job of a chain fist arm. So you got to repair this too. I'm gonna pin it. He's gonna get the dirtiest base that I got. I don't know why. This is what he gets. It's how Mr. Assault Cannon Chain Fist guy goes. Do you know much about 40k tactics? Because I've definitely seen Terminators built with chain fists and assault cannons. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a particularly good build or not. So it fits okay there. But it's awkward that way. So he needs to have his arm up. I think. Way up. Like that? I think that should be okay. You gonna build some Terminators soon? Nice. Yeah, I feel like Terminators are just there to have a good time. Maybe try some Space Hulkish kind of game. I don't know. Maybe this guy isn't the best to have this arm. Maybe his leg's too far out. Let's see what the metal bodies are like. Now he doesn't have a peg. There we go. That's pretty high up. Alright, well, let's try out the other body then. No, I'll stick with that body. He'll just have his chain fist up in the air, waving it around like you just don't care. I still have no idea if I'm gonna try to play 9th or not. Wait, I'll probably try like a little sample game, but I just don't know if I'm gonna get into 9th. I'll definitely get the miniatures. Definitely those Necrons. Those guys are looking good. How long have I been streaming? Show me my times. Where does it say? Ah, 35. That's what it says. Nice. I'm making good time, I think. Not too much longer now. I'd really like to get the Space Marine Heroes Series 2 Terminators. So if I could get my hands on Space Marine Adventures 2, Rise of the Orcs, I can definitely get some of those bad boys. But I'm not sure when that game's going to be released. I imagine that the date's going to be pushed back. Because I think it would have been summer normally. And hopefully it gets distribution in Canada properly. Not just a name. Yeah, sub-assemblies is good. I don't usually because I don't care. If it just makes more of a challenge to get my paintbrush in there, I just do it. I'm like, I'll deal with it as it comes. But I did leave the arms off my skeletons with shields, so I could paint all my Skeleboys and then put the shields on. So I will, upon occasion, do sub-assembly. Ain't nothing wrong with it, that's for sure. But with these guys, I don't feel the need for sub-assembly. Yeah, I guess mostly it's a shield thing. Depending on how much of a pain it is to get the shield on there. Yeah, it's true. I don't know why they don't just distribute them in Games Workshop stores. It makes no sense. Unless they have an agreement with Japan. They're like, okay, Japan, we'll release them to the rest of the world, but we'll never have these in a Games Workshop store ever. Don't worry. The only place people will ever get these are in LGSs and Barnes & Nobles. And someplace in Germany. Yeah, they haven't released Series 3 yet to the world, so you should be able to get, the Death Guard if you're into it. Those guys are really nice. Now that I'm almost done painting out my first strike guys and the Lord of Contagion, I get to work on finishing off the Series 3 Death Guard. And then I'll paint them up. It's going to be real nice. Show you the two that I have done so far. This pile of miniatures to be primed was a Nurgling. Actually, they come with a lot of Nurglings that are separate. I don't really like having Nurglings on the Death Guard bases, so I decided I'll keep them separate. And there's this guy. He pulled the pin from his grenade. He's ready to huck it. And they, of course, like the other ones, they come with the option of having a helmet or no helmet. And I always go helmet. And where's the other fellow? Ah, here he is. I left the Nurgling on this piece because it's an integral part of the base, otherwise the hose would just go nowhere. So I left him on. He's got his little worm shooter, I guess. It's really gross. But yeah, this guy's the champion for the Death Guard unit. He's pretty sweet. That guy's going to be a lot of fun to paint. And the first two videos I recorded building these, I did on my camera phone. And for some reason my camera phone developed this weird glitch where all my lights pulsate. I can't see it pulsating. And on this camera, I can't see any pulsating. But on my camera phone, it just completely pulses. So when I do a time-lapse video, it kind of flashes at you. It's annoying. But I figure while I'm doing this challenge, I'll probably release those two videos. I'll edit them up and just put a little disclaimer at the front. Originally, I'd intended to do a painting, or building and painting, all in the same video, but I think I'll have them separate. Whoop, where are you going? Probably about there. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Except for that, when I first started using the camera, I never did that, so it just developed one day out of the blue. It was very strange. Must have been a software update. It's possible it wouldn't do that now, but now I don't feel like taking the risk. But I worked on this camera more. I got tweaked so that I think the settings are pretty decent. Yeah, I tried all the settings I could. Well, that's stupid. You can't just have a dummy mode on those cameras, unfortunately. Where you can make all your adjustments. Alright, other bits. This is my original Hobby Vice drill bits. And I need one that fits this spool of wire, which I think is this guy. Maybe not that guy. This one. The problem I had with this setup is that I got a lot of noise from my computer. The fan blows, making a lot of noise. But eventually I got this new mic, so now I don't have that problem as much. You'll still hear a bit of a hum in the background, but it's not too bad. Excuse me. We go bendy. That's one kind of fun thing about doing eBay rescues, is taking all the hack jobs that people have done and then redoing it so they actually look good. I've had quite a few like that. I had one where someone hacked up well, they didn't hack it up, but they chopped the pistol off of an old Eldar, the metal ones with the chainmail, and put on a newer style Eldar pistol, but they had it like a super weird angle, so that was the first one I did. I rebuilt it. It was a lot of fun. I do work at a sports shop. I don't know anything about the sports stuff. I don't know anything about Nike bags or Adidas bags. I fix bikes. I sharpen skates. And I work on skis and snowboards. And our shop also does rackets, but I don't do any racket stringing because it's a very long, tedious process. And usually I work on the weekends or times when things are busy, so don't really have time to do racket stringing anyway. So yeah, a lot of people come in and they ask me questions about sports. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know anything about sports. One lady got angry with me. She's like, why do they even let you work here? It's like, well, I can fix a bike, lady. You know, that's not an easy thing to do. I can make it so you don't die on your bicycle. And yet people still manage to do it. They manage to take their wheels off and put them on wrong and then blame us. It's like, well, I can't, you know, cure idiocy. Oh. Ha 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 ha. Better drag that out. Nope, it's in there. That's it. That's okay. I'll just have to clip this down a bit. Yeah, the only sporty type thing I've ever done was bicycling. I was really into bicycling for quite a while. I did a lot of winter biking, which is a lot of fun. Not so much mountain biking. I'd have to say if I skewed towards anything, it would be more road biking style. Though I never actually did any road biking. Most of this pathway bombing around the city. I had magnificent calves that brought all the ladies to the yard. My calves are still pretty good, though. They're not junk. Okay, let's bring it forwards a bit. I was getting fitted for a kilt for my friend's wedding, and he wanted all the best, or the groomsmen in kilts. And the Scottish lady, and there's like, oh, you got kilt calves. Well, I didn't ride a BMX. It was more of like an old mountain bike style. Like, you know, the 90s mountain bikes where they didn't have any suspension. Usually I rode those with the winter studded tires. Go through the ice and snow. It was before fat bikes were around, which are a better option nowadays. Oh, am I out of music? Did I go through the whole playlist? Oh, I did. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Yeah, winter biking is a lot of fun. However, I did tear my ACL, so, you know, if you like your ACLs, you gotta be careful winter biking. It's true. I mean, I looked really good in that tartan. I'll share a picture on the Dicey Guy chat. It's from a while ago now. But I was looking pretty fit. Of course, all the other groomsmen at his wedding were all computer nerds. They were all in a game design school together in Vancouver. Alright, he's got an arm. Looks pretty good. I think I could just fill that seam line in with varnish after. So I'll probably leave it as that. And I'll need to lose some of the peg. Actually, I'll clean it up first. Then I'll chop off the peg. I think that's the little crotch pouch, right? Because they came with one. The whole rental. Yeah, they paid for the rentals. So I don't know how much it cost. It was a fun wedding, though, for sure. We used to play a lot of 40K together growing up. Me and him. He was a good gaming buddy. And I was friends with his wife as well, separately. And then when they're together, we're all friends together, too. Yeah, I think the Assault on Blackreach Terminators are pretty good looking. Haven't really seen any new Terminators that really make me think they're improved that much otherwise. Just more dynamic poses. That guy's gonna look good. These things are a little annoying though. They like to bend. Pretty sure that's not the right angle it's supposed to be at. But I do not feel like pinning that. If it breaks, I'll pin it. It's got a thing that goes down. Does that really interfere with anything? Should I get rid of it? Just seems like I'll have to fill that area anyway. Okay, what side is this arm on? So just gonna have that up at least a little bit. That forward. It's gonna go back. About there, maybe. And if that's the case, yeah, that won't interfere with anything. I'm gonna leave it. That'll be fine there. Fuse it with plastic glue. Yeah, well, this is resin, so I can't fuse that. I'll definitely use plastic glue on this one. I just need to trim down the peg a bit because the pin I put in there went up into the joint. That'll be fine. Yeah, the plastic glue I use is a little less aggressive than non-toxic. Are those purity seals underneath his armor? Interesting. I got the Deathwing Terminator. No. Deathwing? Yeah, they are the Deathwing. Deathwing Terminators from the Dark Vengeance box. Those guys are pretty cool too. But I'm not going to run them as Relictors. I'll keep them as Deathwing. I'll paint them up nice and proper. With the bone. So they'll be for another project, another time. Yeah, so far no one's ever taught me anything about painting. Everything I've learned from watching videos or reading from White Dwarf. The little bit that you could learn from that. How do they sit? Feels good. $53 minutes. Nice. Yeah, everything is going along according to schedule. I'll stream for about 7 more minutes. And by that time, this guy should be assembled. And I'll show off the other guys along with him. And call it a day. Oh, wait. I think there was an even messier base I wanted to put this guy on. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that one. It's like destroyed. It's got this, I don't even know what this is, fused on there. I think this was his base originally. All right, put that back. Yeah. Yeah, videos are nice because you can see what's happening. You can see the visible results. You'd have to like sit beside someone, I think, to really learn how to paint. Someone paid me to teach them how to paint once. I came to their house with a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I can't teach you to paint. But I can teach you about the tools you can use to paint. So I taught them about green stuff and processes and theory and things. It's like, well, you just gotta learn how to move the brush on your own. But, you know, I could give you the tools to get you started. That was pretty fun. All right. That means I probably could just stick them on there, actually. Oh, yeah, I haven't even pegged him on. If I put his foot there... No, maybe I should do the side then. I'll do the side. Yeah. Yeah, upgrading your lights. That's one thing I told him. He had like one tiny little light. I'm like, you're going to want a lot more light. I didn't know about zenithal priming at the time, because this was a while ago. Otherwise, I would have taught him that too. Zenithal priming is great even if you don't use it for glazing. Just being able to see what you're doing. It's great. That should be good there. Yeah, I taught him about thinning paints. I'm like, you've probably seen a lot of things about thinning paints, but what does that actually mean? So I taught him what kind of consistency to look for. Didn't teach him much about brush control, but I did tell him, you know, about how it's different when you're painting from the side versus using your tip, which you pretty much never do anyway. Yeah, I love zenithal. I love it. Maybe I won't always love it, though. Maybe it's just a fashion thing. I'll get over it and start doing something else. But if you want to be able to see your miniature, zenithal is pretty terrific. Or priming white, putting an ink wash on there. Maybe I should leave a hole there. That should be serviceable. No more. Maybe I have to get rid of some of this. Where'd I put you, my knife? There you are. Right at my hand. Have you ever heard the theory that if you lose something, you should always look at your elbow? Yeah, I don't always prime in black and gray for zenithal. These guys I will because they're going to be gray overall, so I'm going to go from black to white. And then glaze on my glaze. But there's a lot of miniatures all zenithal other colors too. Like a brown to bone. I really like that. That's how I do my good guys now. And if I want them to be the bad guys, I'll do them in the more drabish black to white. And then they have more muted colors when they're glazed versus the heroic ones. I didn't zenithal my Death Guard though. Those guys are straight green. And then I did a lot of dry brushing in between layers of glazing. Oh, I just need to open this up more. That's a good question, Dave Dog. Maybe he would be offended. Maybe not. He seems to have a sense of humor, so I bet he's hard to offend. I'm not a big Nurgle fan, but I really like this Death Guard. And then I looked at other Nurgle stuff. I'm like, well, I really like this other Nurgle stuff too. I'm still not a fan of Nurgle as a concept, but I really like those miniatures. But I like gross undead stuff too, so I think maybe I just like gross decomposing things. Okay. Here you are. Yeah, I'm gonna need the this guy. And this guy. The psychoanalysis of Nurgle and Tzeentch, huh? Interesting. The Lost and the Damned. Which YouTuber was it? Was it Doug? 2+ Tough? I used to watch him. And then one day he was talking about how people get whiny over having their miniatures out of the game. Like when they're just not supported by GW anymore. And how they should just get over it, because buying a miniature is like a movie ticket where you pay for the ride, and then when the ride's over, that's it. You're done. And I've always been sore about the split of undead into Tomb Kings and vampire counts. I'm like, unsubscribe this guy. I don't want to hear it. I also had a few other negative things to say on that show. I think he was having a bad day. That's what it really came down to. But I wasn't that in love with him, so that was it. Just like when Squidmar did a video on painting a PewDiePie, I unsubscribed. I don't want to see PewDiePie. Unsubscribe. Oh, the YouTuber was nurgling. Ah, gotcha. Let's talk about nurgling. I should probably pin that. I'll pin it. Oh, I shouldn't knock his arm off. Don't knock your arm off. Yeah, I'm going to look up this nurgling. Sometimes I like to listen to lore, for sure. I like Retro Warhammer. Yeah. Squidmar's very polished. I think that's what made me wonder. He has some really cool ideas. He's definitely a creative type. But sometimes he just seemed like a bit much. He certainly deserves all the success he's gotten, though. He's done a really good job. Alright, let's try to get it in the right spot. Where's it gonna be? Right about there? Alright. Right about there. Let's see. Where to put it? Right there. Kind of an awkward place. Yeah, I've never actually seen PewDiePie. I've seen like clips of PewDiePie. I don't know much about him. Heck yeah. I think that's a good spot. Just kind of lean in like a drunk. Slather that in glue. Rub a little around here. Someone was asking if I was the Spanish guy on one of the Dicey Guy streams. I can't remember who it was now. I was like, no, that's Dave Dog. It's not me. I'm not the Spanish guy. Alright, let's see how it goes. Let's drop it on here. Boo! Heck yeah. Ready to party. I'll need some cleanup once everything's set, but yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it looks good. He'll look unique on the table, at least, compared to the other Terminators I got. Which is now the time to show them off. Will I wrap up the show? Is this... Are they in here? I don't remember which way I put them. Which where? Nope. Oh, those ones. Ah, there they are. This pile. So this brother is joining the librarian. I chopped down his stand because I never liked the long stands. I've seen a few that have it short like that, and I like that look. Before I just got rid of them. I got my Sergeant from Assault on Blackreach. Though this guy came from Battle of Vedros. I got Multi-Melta guy. And this guy with a gun. This OG with a gun. And this guy with a gun. That's it. That's my progress. I'm at 7 out of 10. I got 2 more Terminators as bolters. And 1 captain. And I'm done. Really ready for priming. Alright, Mr. Dog, thanks for watching. I'm going to take off now. I'll catch you later. Boop, 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 boop. Post.